Okay, so right now, let us continue. Okay, so here we got globular protein and we also got fibrous protein. Okay, so globular protein, okay, they are actually compact. Okay, globular protein, they are actually compact and roughly spherical in shape lah. And they are actually soluble in water. Okay, this is globular. Okay, globular means a pear shape. So you will see this one. It's like a roughly spherical shape. And they also got the fibrous protein surrounded here. Okay, they also got fibrous protein surrounding here. And then, okay, let us look at this part. So globular protein, okay, they form a spherical shape, right? So they are non-polar hydrophobic R groups. They are oriented towards the center of the protein away from the aqueous surroundings. Okay, from the aqueous surroundings. So you will have non-polar, okay, to be simple lah. This is the globular protein. Inside will be hydrophobic. Okay, inside will be hydrophobic. Outside the green color part here, okay, outside the green color part here, they will be polar. Okay, they will be polar. So you see, non-polar and polar. So what your polar will be outside in your globular protein. Why? Because they are actually water soluble. Okay, they are water soluble. So imagine that today, if you put your outside is water soluble and inside is non-soluble by your water. So means that you can help these non-soluble substances in water to be carried into your body. So for example, okay, for example, mostly our drugs is, okay, our medicines lah, is non-polar. So I put this non-polar inside and outside is polar, right? So it can help us to transmit into our body and let these non-polar substances to pass through our cell membrane. So this will be our globular protein. Okay, so you see the purpose is this part. The orientation enables globular proteins to be soluble in water. Okay, as the water molecule, they can surround the polar hydrophilic R groups. Okay, so this is the globular part. And the fourth part is our solubility of globular proteins. Okay, in your water means that they play important physiological roles. Okay, and your globular proteins, they can be easily transported around the organisms. Okay, so this part is our globular protein structure. And the folding of the protein due to their interactions between R groups, they will result that your globular protein, they will have a specific shapes. Okay, so means that sometimes the interaction, they will cause your R groups to have globular protein to have specific shapes. So specific shapes, they are actually referring to some of the example, we call it enzyme. So imagine some of the enzyme, they got a specific shape, okay, so that they can catalyze the specific reactions, and immunoglobulin, they can respond to your specific antigen. Okay, so this one we will learn in chapter 3, which is the next chapter for enzyme. And in IGCSE, you learned before, right? Enzyme is complementary to the active site, or is complementary to the substrate. Means that your enzyme, they need to have a specific shape towards your enzyme, towards your substrate. So this is the globular protein part. Okay, and fibrous protein, they are actually your long strains of your polypeptide change. Okay, they have little or no tertiary structure. So fibrous protein is normally primary and secondary structure lah, while globular protein is for tertiary structure of your protein and also your quaternary structure. Okay, so due to large number of your hydrophobic R groups, your fibrous proteins, they are insoluble in water. Okay, remember, fibrous protein cannot soluble in water, But globular protein, they can soluble in water. So this is the major difference lah. Okay, this is a major difference between them. Okay, and after that, okay, the highly repetitive sequence, they will create very organized structures that are strong, and these, along with their insoluble property, makes fibrous protein very suitable for structural roles. Like example, your keratin, they mix up your hair, nails, horns, and feathers in your animals lah. While collagen is for your connective tissue found in your skin, tendons, and ligaments. Okay, so fibrous protein, they cannot soluble in water, right? So you see, example lah, if your keratin or your fibrous, okay, fibrous protein, one of the example is keratin. So if your keratin is soluble in water, means that when you wash your hand, your nails will touch the water, right? And they will soluble with water. That's why we don't want that to happen. Or second thing is like when you wash your hair, okay, with shampoo, and then your keratin, they will interact, of course, interact with water, right? So when they interact with water, they will soluble along with the water, which is the things that we don't want to happen also. So this is the fibrous protein and globular protein differences. Okay, so this is the first part. Okay, this is the first part. And second part, globular and fibrous. Okay, globular and fibrous. So globular means that your shape, they are roughly spherical, while fibrous, they are long strand. This is a summary lah. So this table is quite useful. And your amino acid, they are irregular shape with a wide range of R groups, while your fibrous protein, they are repetitive with a limited range of R groups. And function for your globular structure is physiological and functional, while fibrous protein, they're made up of the structural protein. Means that one gives function more, while fibrous protein, they give structure. Like example, your nails, your hairs, okay, they build up the structure. While globular protein is like they involve like hemoglobin. They got a specific function one. Like example, your hemoglobin transport oxygen and your carbon dioxide throughout the body. Okay, yeah, so example you can look through. And solubility, globular is generally soluble. That's why hemoglobin, they can stay in our blood because blood contains water. Okay, and this one is generally insoluble. Like example, your actin and myosin. This one you will learn in, I think, A2. Yeah, I think A2 you will learn myosin and actin. And collagen and keratin is your nails, hairs, those things. And fibrin also. Fibrin also a protein in your muscles. Okay, so this is the part.
Okay.
Yeah. So okay, we are done with the first part. Okay, I think we still got a little bit more lah. Then we are done with protein and we will enter water. Okay, so molecular structure of your hemoglobin. Okay, so hemoglobin. Okay, we talk specifically about this one. Okay, we talk specifically about this one. Is actually our hemoglobin. So hemoglobin, they are actually globular protein, and they are under quaternary structure because they got 4 polypeptide chains. Okay, they got 4 polypeptide chains, 2 alpha, 2 beta, which is the one we encountered just now. This part, I got 2 alpha, I got 2 beta. Okay, yeah, and then okay, fibrous protein. So fibrous protein, they are actually long strands. Sorry, wrong. Okay, this one. Yeah, and I got 2 alpha, 2 beta, and each subunit, they got a prosthetic heme group. Okay, they got a prosthetic heme group. So heme group, they are actually for your okay, heme group, they are actually for your iron part lah. Okay, iron part of your red blood cell, because our blood cells, they will have iron, and your iron is important in building those red blood cells. Okay, then okay, And then your 4 globin subunits, they are also held together by your disulfide bonds arranged so that their hydrophobic R group, they are facing inward. Okay, they are facing inward, and your hydrophilic R group, they are facing upward. So this is the just now what we say lah. Your hemoglobin, example hemoglobin, inside this region, or I use a color here, inside this region is hydrophobic. Okay, is hydrophobic, while outside this region, okay, outside this region is hydrophilic. Okay, inside is hydrophobic, okay, outside is hydrophilic. Please remember this structure. Okay, the sequence I would say hydrophobic, hydrophilic, this one important.
Teacher, the disulfide bond, they said that it is connected with the disulfide bonds. So where is it connected? Like, how is it connected? I don't understand that part.
This one, right? Okay. Just now remember not we got two cysteine. Okay, wait, I show you this one. It's related here. Disulfide bond is formed between two cysteine R groups. Yeah, so these two cysteine R group, they are actually found on your amino acid. Means that the disulfide cross bridge, the disulfide bridge, they form between the two R groups on your amino acids, which we call it cysteine. Okay, example. Okay, this is amino acid. And amino acid, we call it cysteine, one of the type. Okay, one of the example, we call it cysteine, or I put CYS. So CYS, the structure we got what? Okay, we got one NH2, we got one COOH, and we got one H, and we got one R group, right? So, example, you got two. Example, you got right now you got two cysteine. Okay, two cysteine R groups. So means here and here. Okay, and maybe this R group, they got one carbon. Okay, they got one structure, which is their carbon. Okay, no matter the R group here. Example, we got carbon here, and here for this one we also have carbon. So they will form disulfide cross-link between these two cysteine amino acid on their R group.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now I understand.
Okay, then yeah, if here okay, but this one they won't ask you so specific lah. This one it's just for your knowledge.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so if okay, I continue here. Yeah, so after that, okay, let me see here. Okay, they are talking, yeah, they are talking about the importance of your R groups, arrangement of your R group. So if your hemoglobin, the properties change, they will cause sickle cell anemia. So to summarize these two sentences, is like, if your arrangement of your R group is distorted, means that already interrupted by other things. So means that your hemoglobin structure is not so good already. So when your hemoglobin structure is not so good, they cannot function well. And we know that hemoglobin help us to transport oxygen and carbon dioxide, right? So if they are not functioning, they will cause sickle cell anemia. So sickle cell anemia is like, okay, if your red blood cell is in this way, sickle cell means that they will form these crescent types of your red blood cell, which they will reduce their function or even kill the red blood cells and causes your body to become anemia. Anemia means that you don't have enough red blood cells. Okay, so this is the function here. And last part is our prostatic heme group. Yeah, that's why just now I said prostatic heme group, they contains what? Iron, specifically iron 2 ion. So they can do what? They can help to reversibly combine your oxygen molecule and form oxyhemoglobin. Okay, And this will cause your hemoglobin to be appearing in bright red, means that a very light color of your red color. So this one is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can. Okay, so to be okay, I do a summary first. So you see, one hemoglobin, you got 4 polypeptide chain. Okay, you got 4 polypeptide chain, 2 alpha, 2 beta. Okay, 2 alpha, 2 beta, and each of your polypeptide chain, okay, each of your polypeptide chain has we call something called heme group. Okay, heme group. So each heme group contains what? Each heme group contains Fe2 plus. Okay, they contains have Fe2 plus, and then Fe2 plus, they help you for the color of your hemoglobin, which is what we call bright red color. Okay, bright red color of hemoglobin. Okay, bright red color of your hemoglobin. So this is your 6th one. Okay, 6 point. Okay, so this the right side that I'm writing is our summary lah. Okay, so this part is the molecular part. Okay, and yeah, each polypeptide chain, okay, I remember this one, they are right here. Each polypeptide chain okay, they carry one molecule of oxygen. So 4 polypeptide chain, okay, 4 polypeptide chain, they will carry 8 oxygen atoms or 4 oxygen molecules. So this is the whole summary for your hemoglobin. So this part is okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So this is what we call our hemoglobin part. Yeah, you can later I'll send this to group lah. Okay. So yeah, this one you can read through. Okay, it's the same thing just with diagram. And the function, okay, function of your hemoglobin is to what? Yeah, transport the oxygen to tissue. Use in your aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration means that you involve oxygen. Okay, and oxygen is not very soluble in water, so your oxygen can be carried more efficiently around the body by your hemoglobin. So you can imagine that like oxygen, they cannot swim inside the water. So instead of swimming, okay, they go to another destination by the boat. Yeah, you can understand this way. And the presence of your heme group and your Fe2 plus, they will enable small molecules like your oxygen to be bound more easily. Okay, and as each oxygen molecule binds, they will change the quaternary structure. Okay, and existence of your iron 2 in your prostatic heme group that allows oxygen to reversibly bind. Okay, reversibly bind, as none of the amino acid that make up the polypeptide chain or in your hemoglobin as well suited. Yeah, this one means that Fe2 plus helps oxygen to bind more efficiently to be transported. Okay, yeah, so this one you can just read the summary here, and the function is like a common knowledge for your hemoglobin. And yeah, last part, I think collagen. So collagen you can be found in your connective tissue. So these are all the connective tissues in our molecular structure of our collagen. And they are actually insoluble. Okay, they are actually insoluble. And then their structure, they are formed by 3 polypeptide chain held together by your hydrogen bonds to form something called triple helix. Okay, triple helix, or we known as tropocollagen. Okay, or we know as tropocollagen. So collagen, they are actually formed from 3 polypeptide chains. Okay, they are actually formed by 3 polypeptide chain, and each is a helix shape. Okay, helix shape. So you can imagine as this one, okay, or I use a simple one. Wait, you let me find a picture. Okay, yeah, so this is the amino acid sequence. Okay, I use this to explain that. So amino acid sequence, like example, glycine, proline, hydroxyproline, 3 of the amino acid when they form together. Okay, and they will form something called collagen molecule. Okay, they will form something called collagen molecule. And the collagen molecule, they will form collagen fiber. Okay, they will form collagen fiber. Okay, so this is what they want to bring out. And in the primary structure of collagen, remember the primary structure is actually our sequence. Okay, sequence of your amino acid. Okay, this is the sequence of amino acid. So almost every third amino acid is glycine. So what does it mean? So you see, here I got 1, 2, 3, right? So almost third, okay, almost third starting is the green color, we call it glycine. Okay, in your collagen. So it's like your glycine is the first one, they want to say. Okay, glycine is the first one. Okay, and then after that, okay, the smallest amino acid with our group that contains a single hydrogen atom, they will form your hydrogen bond. And the glycine tends to be found on this inside of polypeptide chain, allowing three strands to be arranged closely together to form tight triple helix. Means that here, so you see all your glycine, proline, hydroxyproline, 3 of them, they form an amino acid sequence, and due to some interaction they form something called triple helix. Just now we see, right, triple helix, or we call it tropocollagen. Tropocollagen. This one is it, okay? Triple helix, or we call it tropocollagen. This part can understand. Yeah.
Yeah, but do I have to memorize the glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline?
This one just need to know glycine can already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So every third amino acid is glycine.
Okay.
Okay. So you see they will form tight triple helix structure, or we call it tropocollagen. Okay, tropocollagen. And then, okay, after that, okay, your covalent bonds also form cross-link between R groups. Okay, when in interacting your triple helix, when they are arranged parallel to each other. So your cross-link, they will hold the collagen molecules and form fibrils. Okay, so you see, they will call this one collagen molecules, we call it fibrils. Fibrils means that the fibers coil together. And then eventually all the fibrils, they will arrange together to form your collagen fiber. Okay, they will form your collagen fiber. So you see, oh, okay, your cross-link, they will hold the collagen molecules together to form fibrils. And many fibrils are arranged to form collagen fibers. Yeah, this is the highlight part that important. That is important. You form fibril first, and many fibrils, they are arranged together and they will form collagen fibers. So collagen fibers, they are positioned so that they are lined up with the forces that are withstanding this one only lah. Just read through. Because collagen, they want to let you know they will have high tensile strength. So we directly see this one. This one diagram you can look through yourself lah. You can look through yourself. Is the part that they summarize all the bonds, those things. Okay, the function here, okay, important here is they are actually a flexible structure. Okay, and your fibrils, they will provide strength. Okay, they will provide strength so that they are actually elastic. Okay, they are actually elastic. And the presence of many hydrogen bonds within the triple helix structure, they'll provide good tensile strength. Tensile strength means that you can contract, you can extend. We call it tensile strength. Or you want to understand it as high elasticity, also can. Okay, you want to remember as high elasticity also can. And for this one, okay, your collagen is actually a stable protein due to their high proportion of proline and hydroxyproline, which is the second one and the third one. Okay, this one you want to remember also can. It's the same thing. Okay, it's the same thing. So yeah, they will have more stability lah, as their R groups, they will repel each other, and their insolubility in water. Okay, so this is for the collagen part. So collagen part, you just need to know that. Okay, I do a summary. So they are held together by hydrogen bonds to form triple helix. Triple helix structure, they will also have covalent bonds that form your cross-link between your R groups, and they will hold together to form fibrils. Fibrils will arrange together to form fibers. So this is the collagen part. And collagen part, they are flexible and they have high tensile strength. And the fibrils, they will provide strength to the structure. And they are actually relatively stable. Okay. Yeah, so let us look at the difference between your collagen and also your hemoglobin. So for collagen, we look through this part first. Wait. So collagen, they are actually triple helix structure, while your hemoglobin, they consist of 2 alpha. Okay, they consist of 2 alpha and 2 beta. Collagen is long and thin. Okay, long and thin, while your hemoglobin is spherical. Collagen, they are actually fibrous protein, while hemoglobin, they are actually globular protein. Okay. After that, your main function of your collagen, they are actually structural, while hemoglobin, they are functional. So collagen is just to form the structure, while hemoglobin, they will give you function. Okay. And your amino acid variation, collagen, they are actually repetitive, while the hemoglobin, their amino acid variation is variable. Okay. they are variable. And then prosthetic group, collagen is don't have any prosthetic group, while hemoglobin is they consist of heme group. Okay, and the solubility of a collagen, they are insoluble at first, while hemoglobin they are soluble. Okay, so this is the part for protein. So far, everything okay?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Okay. Let me drop in the water part. I think water very easy only, but I still need to go through first lah. And then we are done with water chapter 2 part. Okay. So next week we can enter chapter 3 lah. Okay, you wait me for a while. So right now let us discuss this part. Let's discuss this part. So water very easy. You just need to know their role, water structure, and also the hydrogen bond, how they form. Okay, this one you also will learn more in chemistry lah. Yeah, so let us continue first. Yeah. Okay, so all of this part I leave it to you. Like example, covalent bond, then who share the electrons, who throw the electrons, all those things. Yeah, I think you should know this one. And let me skip to this part directly to you. Okay, so oxygen is delta negative. Okay, because they are more electropositive. Okay, they are more electronegative. While hydrogen part, they are delta positive because they are more electropositive. Okay, they are actually more electropositive. And the angle between them is about 105 degree. Okay, 105 degree. So your shared electrons is near to your oxygen atom. Why? Because this is, you will learn in chemistry called lone pair. This is one lone pair. This is another lone pair. Okay, and then you will form polar covalent bond between your hydrogen and oxygen, and this is what we know as hydrogen bond. This is what we know as hydrogen bond. So hydrogen bond, always remember, only got 3 types only. H bonded with F, H bonded with N, and right now what we learn, H bonded with O between your water molecules. Okay, so water is actually a polar molecule. Okay, polar molecule. And when your separation of your charge due to electrons being unevenly shared, we call a word dipole. Okay, we call the word dipole. So when your molecule has one end that is negatively charged and one end that is positively charged, we call it polar molecule. Okay, this one you'll learn more in your AS chemistry lah. Okay, AS chem for chemical bonding part. You learn about polar and non-polar more in that chapter. Okay. Yeah, so this is actually our water. Okay, basic structure of water you need to know. And hydrogen bonds, okay, hydrogen bonds, they will form between water molecules. Okay, between water molecules, and they will, as a result, your polarity of your water hydrogen bonds, they will form between the positive and negatively charged of your adjacent water molecules. Means the water molecule next to next water molecule, you are bonded with hydrogen bond. Okay, and hydrogen bond, they contribute to many properties of your water molecules that make them so important. Like first one, they are excellent solvent, or we call it universal solvent. Actually, water is a part. We call them universal. Okay, universal solvent, or we call them yeah, universal solvent means that they can dissolve a lot substances. Okay, almost everything lah. Okay, almost everything, but not all lah. Okay, and then your hydrogen bonds, they will have high specific heat capacity, and they will also have relatively high latent heat. Okay, they will have relative high latent heat involved here. And then water, they are actually less dense when a solid, less dense than a solid. This is then right wrongly. You've got high surface tension and act as reagent. Yeah, this is the basic knowledge on your water lah. Okay, water part. Then after that, let's look at hydrogen bonding. Okay, so for your hydrogen bonding, this is how we form. So hydrogen bond is formed between the H on one atom to another O of another atom of the molecule. Okay, so you see next to next. So I got 4 sets. 1, 2, 3, 4. So example, hydrogen bond is formed between 1, okay, 1 and 2, or hydrogen bond is formed between 2 and 3, or your hydrogen bond is between 2 and 4. So this is your hydrogen bond. Okay, so you need to know during exam, you need to know where your hydrogen bonds will form between water molecules. They will ask you to draw the bonds. Okay, draw the bonds for stable bonds. Okay, so this is actually our water part. Here, I think no problem, right? Up to here. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, can okay. And then after that, we look at the final part, and we are done with our class lah. So water molecules, okay, we have different properties. So first one is their polarity. Second one is the presence and number of their hydrogen bonds. So for your solvent, as the water is a polar molecule, many ionic compounds, and they are covalently bonded polar substances, they will dissolve in it. So these, they will allow the chemical reactions to occur within the cells. Okay, because water is polar, means that they got delta positive and delta negative thingy, and causes them to become polar. So this allows the chemical reactions to occur. Why? Because water, they can form charge. So charge can be neutralized by oppositely charge. That's why they can react with other substances, because different substance, they got different charge. Those things just depends on their positive or negative charge only. So polarity of your water, you see polar molecule, they are full of charge. You see, they actually full of charge. While non-polar molecules, okay, non-polar molecules, they don't have any charge, right? Okay, they don't have any charge. So they a bit hard to form substances with other people. But for polar, they can easily form substances with people. So this is the concept. Okay, so this is the concept here that you need to understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, then I think I just go through here lah, okay? Because this one you can leave, you can read it, okay? But I'll go through this important summary here because it's the basic one. So you see, water they act as solvent, okay? They got high heat specific heat capacity, and they got high latent heat of vaporization. So this means that the role in your living organisms for your solvent part, they allows chemical reaction to occur and they act as transport medium. Why? Because your polarity of water can let your chemical reaction to occur. Right? Because you got delta positive, delta negative, then they can react with other people. Unlike your hydrophobic or non-polar substance, you see, they cannot form any charge. So they are not so reactive. Okay, but these polar things, they are reactive. Second one, your height specific heat capacity. Okay, this one IGCSE chemistry, no, physics you learned before. Okay, so specific heat capacity means that you need how much heat in order to increase 1 kg of substance by 1 degree Celsius. Means that if you increase the temperature of the substance, you need how many energy? So water, they got a very high specific heat capacity. And you got learned before, right? It's the 4,200 kilojoule, okay, per degree Celsius per kg. This one. This is the formula lah, okay? And their optimal temperatures, they can be maintained within the cells and bodies. So you imagine why your water got high specific heat capacity. You see, example in your sea, okay? Example in your sea, sea is almost all water, but when the sun shine on it, why your whole sea water they won't boil? Because they got a very high heat specific heat capacity. Second thing, our body composed of 70% of water. So imagine if your water they got low specific heat capacity, means that example we go for a walk under the sun for 5 minutes, then our whole body inside got water, right? They detect the heat and causes them to causes our whole body to burn, which we don't want to happen. Okay, so they got a very high specific heat capacity because a lot of hydrogen bond, and they also got high latent heat of vaporization that act as a coolant. Okay, specific heat capacity, right? They didn't involve temperature change. So you learn in physics, it doesn't involve they got temperature change, sorry. Or your latent heat, they does not involve any temperature change. They only change its state. Example, solid to liquid, liquid to gas. Okay, also due to presence of many hydrogen bonds. So the final part here, is it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so if here okay, after that I will send you some of the question you can try to do in your own, and you can send it to me so I can help you to mark. And we just discussed the wrong one I think. So we are done with chapter 2 already.
Okay, so I will be doing the tropical past paper questions.
Yeah, I'll send it the topical exam questions to you, and you can try.
I think it did.
Oh, we did already. Oh, I already sent you.
Yeah.
How about for protein part and water part?
I don't think so. I only got the tropical past paper questions.
Okay. Later I'll check and I send you. Okay.
Okay.
I continue with another lessons, and after that I send you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, teacher.
Bye bye.